Hello YouTube and welcome to another video from Tech with Stefan. Today we're going to compare two very similar phones, the Redmi Note 10 compared with the Galaxy A52. And let's first start with what's inside the box. And you do get a big charger from Xiaomi, which is the 27 with 33 maximum watts of power, as you can see here. And while the Samsung only provides this small charger, which goes I think up to 15 watts or something like that. So there is a big difference, as you can see, in size and in charging power. Redmi Note 10 gives you the better charger, while Samsung only gives you this small guy. And besides that, they have USB Type A to USB Type C cables, which are very similar. And one more point for Xiaomi, you get this clear case, which is a pretty good case, I would say. And plus with the factory applied screen protector, it will offer you, let's say, a decent protection from day one, while on Samsung you don't get any case and no screen protector as well. So keep that in mind. I think at least the Redmi Note 10 provides better charger and bonus the case and the screen protector, which you don't get on the Samsung at all. Okay, let's start with the devices, and you can see here they are in blue and green color, and the Samsung has a matte finish back, which looks pretty good, I would say, and it's only a matter of choice, but I do prefer the Redmi back, which is a bit glossy, but it has a nice, let's say, color effect. You can see with the light. And they both have plastic backs, and I think this is a good choice, because if you drop it on the back, it will not break like glass. So yeah, definitely like this plastic bag. And of course, on the back side, we do get a lot of cameras. So there are 4 cameras on both devices, and the Xiaomi has a 48 megapixel main sensor, ultra wide 8, and the other 2 macro and, let's say, focus portrait, while the Samsung gets the 64 megapixel camera with optical stabilization, an ultra wide, again a macro, and a portrait camera. But overall, I would say they do approach differently this array of cameras. Samsung looks, I would say, a bit better with the integration with the hump here. So yeah, it's a matter of choice, but I do like the both phones with their designs. And besides that, let's check the ports. So we have on the bottom USB Type-C for both, headphone jack, microphone and speaker. There is another speaker on top of the phone, you can see here beneath the screen, which they have both stereo speakers. And of course there are the volume and power buttons. And on top we have the SIM tray for the Samsung, while the Xiaomi has the microphone and the IR blaster and the grills for the second speaker. And of course here is the SIM tray for the Xiaomi phone. But besides that, they are nearly, let's say, identical in size. Screen is almost the same size. And you can see the Xiaomi has a bit more rounded edges than the Samsung one. But yeah, I do like it. And as an overall form factor, I think that Xiaomi has a better grip. So because this is a rounded corner, as you can see here, this will fit more comfortably in your hand. And you can hold it with one hand with no problems, even unlock it. And while Samsung has these rougher edges, which feel a bit, I would say, uncomfortable in the hand. So the grip is not as safe as I can feel it on the Xiaomi phone. So yeah, I definitely recommend this Xiaomi Note 10 more than the A52 based on how you're holding it in your hand. But besides that, they both have a punch hole camera on top, and it's an AMOLED screen on both devices, while Samsung has a higher refresh rate of 90 Hz. The Xiaomi only has 60 Hz. Maybe they will update it with software, but so far there is no 90 Hz refresh rate. And fingerprint scanner is under the screen on the Samsung, as you can see here, while the Xiaomi has a power button which is on the side here, and once you put your finger there, it will unlock it. And I think it's a bit faster. Let's start to test this again. So in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you can see it's a bit faster on the Xiaomi, but only by half a second or less. Okay, let's talk a bit about the software. So they are both having Android 11 with their skins. The Redmi has its Xiaomi standard skin, and some of you may not like it. And you can see here the multitasking, but overall I have a lot of experience with it, and I have to get used to it. I would say it's a pretty fast UI, but some of you will not like it as much. While the Samsung, of course, has the Samsung One UI, which is pretty much on all the Galaxy devices, like the S20, 21, and all the newer devices. But yeah, once again, you can see a bit here the refresh rate. You can feel it a bit. Samsung, it's let's say faster with this refresh rate, but overall the screens are pretty much identical. Even the specifications are almost the same resolution, diagonal, and pixel count. Okay, and the software, I think it's polished for both devices. It does work pretty good on both of them, and they have Android 11, which is pretty good, and I was hoping other phones from there get updated to this, but only these new phones get Android 11. So yeah, if you want Android 11, you have to get these newer devices, while the other older may get it or not. But yeah, overall the software yeah, feels very good, and we can check here the settings and see the software. Let's do also for the Redmi, and you can see about phone and software information, and as you can see here, One UI 3.1, Android 11, here also Android 11, and MIUI 12. So these are the specifications about the software, and I had no issues with the software on both devices. It runs very smooth, and I do like it. Okay, besides that, let's talk a bit about performance. For that, I have run Geekbench 5 on both devices, and as you can see in the history tab right here, the compute, this is the CPU score, it's almost identical. Even though the CPU is not identical, we have let's say a bit slower CPU on the Xiaomi, while the Samsung has a bit faster one, and even with that, you can see the scores are almost identical. So if we compare this, it's a pretty good CPU, and the multi-score, it's around, let's say 720G, 730G, in that ballpark. So yeah, performance, it's almost the same with the CPU, but the big difference is in the GPU, where the Xiaomi has a much lower score, 3 times almost lower, and here it's where the Samsung shines. The GPU is a lot better on this Galaxy device than the Xiaomi. So keep that in mind. Games will play a lot smoother on the A52 compared to the Redmi Note 10. Okay, my overall verdict about these two phones. I think they are very good. They do offer a lot for their money. I think Samsung gets a bit more expensive, and while it's only packing this low charger, you do get more. With Redmi Note 10, you get a faster charger, a case, and a screen protector. And the cameras, here I will say Samsung wins because of the 64 megapixel camera with optical stabilization. And besides that, all the other cameras are a bit better at exposure, while the Redmi Note 10 has good cameras, but a bit behind the Samsung. And once again, the CPU, it's almost the same. They do have similar performance, but Samsung has a better GPU inside. So keep that in mind for games. Pick the Samsung phone. And they do both have always on display. and AMOLED screens, and again Samsung is with a fast refresh rate of 90 Hz. And of course they do have some water resistance. Samsung has a better IP68, while the Redmi Note 10 has only IP53, which is a bit only for splash proof, while this can go into water 1.5 meters. I will not bring the Redmi Note into the water. So yeah, this is my overall verdict. If you can afford the difference, you can buy the A52 for better gaming, better cameras. But if you don't mind that much, you can have some good cameras here with a bit better battery life on the Redmi Note 10. So yeah, thank you for watching. Until next time, like, share and subscribe.